everybody. Today I'm going to give you overview of C sharp methods in this video, and without wasting our time, let's start the session. So in this article we will see a part of the thoughts of thing range programming in C sharp, like things and classes. To examine this article you have to have C sharp programming basics. Note, read the whole article, that there is couple of thoughts, so you could not out mature it until you finish the article. Besides, we will get back to all of the thoughts more than one time when I see it appropriate it in continuous article, so pressure in a way, shape or form. Object oriented program, OOP, addresses. OOP is modestly a superior way to deal with program PC applications. Before OOP, OOP engineers used to making PC applications using procedural programming or development programming, but when OOP handled a lot of issues of the procedural programming, so essentially the programmers overall and creators begin using OOP lingos. In procedural programming, all the programming value written in several modules of code, or maybe on one module, dependent upon the program, and these modules depend upon one another, and maybe if you charge a line of code, you have to alter the whole module again, and maybe the whole program anyway. In object oriented programmers make free pieces out of a free program considered classes. Each class and address a piece of the program convenience, and these classes can be gathered to approach a program, and when you need to change a part of the program handiness, all what you want to do is to override the goal class, which could contain an issue. So in OOP applications make by the usage of classes, and these applications can contain many classes that will motivate us to analyze the class and object through thought. Classes and articles. You could find it hard to sort out the class and article story. Anyway, I will endeavor to give a bold exertion getting a handle on it. Truly, the class and article through is associated with each other, and a couple of tenderfoots can't muster the energy to care about understanding it clear. So I figure they will have a predicament learning C sharp. Object oriented through thought takes a huge piece of its helpless from the very veritable thoughts. For example, it will take at classes and objects of the world first, and later you will understand the PC's classes and objects before I even create anything about it. World's classes and objects. In our world, we have a classes and things for those classes, all that in our world. Saw as a thing, for example, uh, people are objects, animals are fights also, and animals minerals are protects. Generally, that in the world are objects. Basic, right? However, the thing may be said about classes in our world. We really want to associate between objects that we are living with, so we have to fathom that there are groupings. This is the means by which they get the name and the thoughts of the class for those things. For example, I am a thing, David is object 2, and Maria is another thing, so we are from a gathering class or type. I have a canine called Ricky, so it's a thing. My friend's uh, canine called Dobby, as in like manner a thing, so they are from a dog's class or type. A third model, I have a PC Pentium 3, this is object. My buddy have a PC Pentium 4, so this is another article, and they are from a computer's class or type. By and by I think you find out about the class and object, yet let me come to fruition it for you. In our existence we have an order to order for objects and everything to be from some portrayals. So a class is a way for portraying couple of properties and functionalities or approaches to acting of a get together of things. All things consider the class saw as a design for specific things. So maybe I will make a class called individual. So this is a design of the convenience and the properties of individuals. I figured out it by more than a way, so hang on until you see the principal model, and I figure you will understand it completely. PC's classes and objects. PC's classes or discussion resemblance what you handle from the last section for a specific change in accordance with become motorized. A C# class consider being the fundamental design block of the language. What I mean by fundamental construction block of the language is that each time you work with C#, you will make classes to shape a program. We use classes as a design to put the properties and functionalities or approaches to acting in one construction block for a couple of get together of things, and after that we use that configuration to make the things we need. For example, we truly need to have individuals objects in our programs, so the essential thing to do here is to make a class and called person that contains all of the fundamental functionalities and or approaches to acting and properties of any individual, and after that we will use that class or design to make an as necessary. Making object of a specific class type called event of the class. Simply take a load of it if you didn't make sense of it 100%, and you can loosen up if you don't have even the remotest clue what's the class and objects properties and functionalities or approaches to acting, considering the way that we still to begin with and as yet to I give no code models, so we ought to take a brief of what's the class and what's a thing. The class is a design block that contains the properties and functionalities that portrays some social event of things. We can make a class person that contains number 1 the property of any regular person on the earth like hair color, age, height, weight and eyes colors. The functionalities or approaches to acting of any normal person on the earth like drink water, eat, go to the work, and later we will see the manner in which we can do the functionalities or approaches to acting and properties. There are two kinds of classes: the built-it classes that go with the .NET framework and called framework class library. Additionally, the designer described classes which we make it. The class contain data as elements and properties, and approaches to acting as procedures to deal with these data. We will sort out this thought we even more later in the article. Exactly. When we articulate a variable in a class, we call it part factors or model elements. The name element came from the way that when we make a thing, we model a class to make the article. So event of a class suggests object of that class, and case variable means variable that exists in the class. the object. It's object of some gathering or class or type, all means the very same thing. And when you create the thing, you can decide the properties of that article. What I mean here is me as a thing can have another how other properties: hair color, age, height and weight of you. As another article, for example, I have a gritty shaded eyes and you have a green eyes. So when I make two things, I will decide natural fluid tone for my things, eyes colors properties, and I will decide a green tone for your articles eyes colors property. uh, that's all for today. So we will meet in next article. Till now, subscribe my channel, like my video, share my video. Thank you so much.